Welcome to KGXT, Gen X Talks podcast, live from Central California.
Making plans with the boys. Gonna hit the town. Yeah, I'm gonna make some noise. I push past the pain and my wounded pride. I'm gonna live it up. Yeah, stay out all night. But sure, I've had some better times. And I can't count all the tears I could write. And maybe down my last night. Yeah, but the blues to me just fine.
I found something to go behind me, by the way. A big wall map. I want to put this above there, and then
How would anyone know it's a wall map? I saw your wall map, but behind you, it's not very defined. It's going to look just like this teal piece of paper.
It's fine. It's better than that shit brown that's on the wall.
What are you talking about?
I didn't pick that wall color.
I picked this color out.
No kidding.
I picked the color. It's a good color for. You know what? Why do you do this? Why do you always start ragging on me about stupid shit right as we're starting? We're starting, and you're talking about.
I'm quiet.
All right, just go.
Do the intro.
Oh yeah.
Hello, welcome aboard.
Welcome to KGXT Studios, broadcasting the KGXT live stream 200 feet below occupied California, and Loud Trouble LLC. Still a sponsor, still the man. Ian was a guest on the World Show like a week ago.
Yeah, that was really great.
That went over a lot better than we even thought. It really did.
You guys jived.
It worked out good.
You were
it worked
jiving
out really well. Yeah, and I think Ian's level of participation is going to be huge when it comes to the radio station. He's been KGXT radio. We're having a big meeting on Saturday about the radio station, and I think he's going to. I think he's going to be a big supporter of that part of the program once it gets into full swing.
Too bad he couldn't be there for that meeting.
I know but he's on the road. I think he's back east right now. So,
oh, is he?
Anyway, where are we? Had stuff to say.
Hey,
yeah.
I know this is only an hour, if that, but
what?
Are you going to make it through the podcast?
Yeah. Why?
Oh God! What do you mean? Why?
What do you?
Two nights ago, you were pulling the Fred Sanford thing 2 nights ago.
Okay.
You wanted to go, I think I'm going to have to go to the hospital.
Okay, stop. That was not, okay, first of all, Fred Sanford was the Wheezy. That's the big
That
one.
was you
Wheezy,
2 nights ago. 2 nights ago.
That's a heart attack. I never said I was having a heart attack. I said I couldn't breathe and all the stuff that
But yet you were talking.
Yeah, you think that, there's two things about how you are Nurse Ratched when it comes to loving and tender support.
I'm just logical.
No, you're Nurse Ratched. The whole family knows. Your bedside manner is atrocious. But if I'm talking, it doesn't mean
I'm a Gen Xer. What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter. You can still have a little sympathy for the guy dying in front of you. I was choking.
Yeah, I'm going to go, good luck, babe.
Yeah, you've done that before. Thank you very much. No, listen. I'm serious. My throat. Okay, it wasn't my throat closing up thing this time.
Okay.
I could not breathe. First of all, because I'm so fat, I can't breathe deep. I cannot take in big, deep breaths very well. I mean, I can if I work at it for a little bit. I can like stretch my lungs out. I take a deep breath, my lungs go, whoa, big fella, what are you doing there? But that night, I couldn't even breathe shallow. I was breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. I couldn't get enough air even on regular breathing. And then I took the CPAP machine and put it on. It had a problem. That outer mask has a little valve in it that lets the air move. It didn't work. So when I got up and I told you that I think we may have to go to the hospital, I thought I was within 2 minutes of running out of air because the shallow breathing wasn't working. I wasn't doing a Fred Sanford.
But you were talking.
Okay, okay.
So if you could talk, you can breathe.
That is not true, but I'm running out of air. I can
really?
talk.
When you're not breathing, you can talk?
Okay, when I'm saying that I was running out of air. I would agree with you if I say I ran out of air. Yeah, then I can't talk. That's the same thing, and this is a guy point of view, and I really, really despise your bedside manner when it comes to this aspect of our marriage. I can be hurting. I can be sick. I can be not feeling well. I can have a migraine. Whatever it is, I can really be suffering. And if anything comes out of my mouth that I want some badonkadonk, you say the same thing. Oh, you're fine. Yeah, you're good.
Yes, exactly.
You do that. You say that every time.
Exactly.
No.
But have you died?
No, but I'm speaking for all men. We can be on death's door and still want some badonkadonk.
No kidding.
Okay, so just because we bring up badonkadonk doesn't mean we're not sick, because you walk away.
I just shake my head like, oh,
you're attentive. God. You're attentive, and then all of a sudden you're like, is it bad? Is it hot? You cold? Where does it hurt? What do you got? What'd you do? Oh, you want badonkadonk? You're fine, and you leave. I could die the next minute, and you just assume that because a man brings up badonkadonk that I'm not really that sick.
Yep, the whole world's fine.
Come on, that is unfair. Speaking on behalf of all men, that's bullshit.
I was thinking of something when you. Funny story when you were holding, like, not holding your breath, but like trying to breathe. Do you remember when our kids would have a screaming fit when they were like toddlers, and then they would hold their breath like, and just kind of hold it, and you're seeing them turn red, and I always blew in their face.
And then blue, and then they turn blue because they're going to pass out.
Yeah, I would always blow in their face, and they'd be like, because it scares them, and then they breathe.
You would do, well, even younger than 5, when they were babies, you would do that. If they were doing that, you come up and go, and they'd
because they're not expecting it. Except when Gen Z kid woke up from a nap that one time and his fingers were blue. You remember you were at work?
Yeah, I do remember.
And I was like, oh my gosh, he's having a hard time breathing. Oh my gosh. I should have called the ambulance, but I put his punk ass in the car seat and drove him to the pediatrician right away. Ran upstairs with him, ran into the lobby and said, he's not breathing.
Yeah, I remember that.
And, oh no, I went into urgent care first. I'm sorry, urgent care.
I was going to say, I don't think you went to the pediatrician.
No, urgent care was below on the bottom level. Right. Went in there. They kind of dismissed me, like they weren't going to help me. And so his pediatrician was up 4 flights of stairs.
That's when
I ran him upstairs to the pediatrician's office after that. So when urgent care said no, we would have to wait. I'm like, my kid's not breathing. Went upstairs. They took him in right away. Right. He had like some cold-induced asthma thing going on, but it scared the living daylights out of me.
Well, when their fingers turn blue and their lips turn blue, that's an indicator something's wrong.
Yes, and I told the head doctor of that facility, because he came and he goes, why weren't you at urgent care? And I told him the whole story. And
he said, because I went into urgent care and showed him my kid's blue fingers and blue toes, and they said, take a number.
Yeah, and he was furious. And the next thing you know, he was gone. And I heard from the doctors that were in the room that he went downstairs right away and chewed them out.
Yeah.
Because I chose to go to urgent care. That was the closest place. That was scary.
It was. But I think a lot of people have had incidents like that with their kids. We've had 8, so we've had probably more than usual. But yeah, you got to get people to listen to you for sure.
Yeah, that was kind of scary.
I was, what? We're talking about me and you got off on some tangent.
Well, I wanted to ask you another question.
Okay, go ask.
Well, when you were doing the live stream last night, across my phone, it says Steve Garvey is running for Senate. And I went, what? And then I was like, oh my God, I got to hear your take on this. Well, he's your
I know.
hero.
Steve Garvey was my favorite Dodger of all time. I used to collect every baseball card. I've met him so many times I can't tell you. When I was a kid in the San Fernando Valley, I used to ride my bicycle across the valley if he was doing a signing, an autograph thing at a car dealership or something. I was there.
I think you have a cool relationship with him now.
Yeah, we do. We get along great. We've now he has seen me so many times that he recognized me. Well, because I'm also 400 pounds.
Didn't you buy him dinner, or did he buy you dinner?
No, I bought him dinner. He was at a Bakersfield signing, and it was at a Mexican restaurant. There was a bunch of memorabilia and a bunch of people were there. And at the end of it, they were supposed to take him in this one big area, big room we were all in, into another dining room area and give him dinner. And he's like, really? You guys aren't going to... That was part of the deal. It's like, come up there.
Yeah.
They give him money to come up there. He signs everything. They sell stuff, and they provide dinner. I mean, how much is a dinner to throw in a dinner?
Should.
Yeah. And he's like, it wasn't really an argument, but he's like, really? You're not going to buy me dinner? I thought that was part of the gig.
Oh.
Not that he couldn't have afforded dinner,
Right.
but he's just like, well, I thought we were eating here. I thought you guys were going to. So I bought him the dinner. I paid for it. I'm like, look,
that.
Steve, let me just take care of this. Let's just get some drinks and have some food and hang out. Yeah.
So did you just sit down with him and chit chat while you
we
guys
did.
ate?
We just talked while we were eating. And the best one I ever had was when we were in Dodger Stadium.
I remember that. Under the lights.
Under the lights, yeah. And
you and your cousin went. You
Right.
guys wanted to do
But
this
I
so
got
bad.
rid of my cousin, and it was just Steve and I. And we just happened to be between events that he was scheduled to walk around and go do. And we were just walking around center field with 2 drinks in our hands, just talking. And I've had some moments just to hang out with Steve that were pretty cool.
That's
yeah,
very
I
cool.
have. So, yes, he is running for U.S. Senate.
Maybe he'll drag you as Gen X dad into the Senate with you or something.
That'd be great. Yeah, I got to set some people straight in the Senate. I want to walk in there like Teddy Roosevelt with a big stick and go, remember this?
Everybody wants you to run for government, so maybe you can slide in the back door.
I can just ride it on his coattails.
Yeah, or be his little
I'm
wingman.
here with Steve.
Be his little wingman and go, hey, Steve.
The problem is that he should have done this, in my opinion. There's a couple things that I think about. Steve Garvey obviously played for the Los Angeles Dodgers for years and the San Diego Padres. And he's older now. You know, he's got to be 75 or so.
What I was thinking.
And
I'm like,
it's just
should have
a little
done this
bit
a while ago.
It's a little late to get in the government race, I believe. Although I just saw Steve last year, and all his faculties are there. He's perfectly fine talking.
He's just slow. He's a little slow.
He moves a little slow, but he's still sharp as a tack. So the other part is that not many people remember him.
Well, I don't know about that.
I don't think he's as popular.
I think everybody in Southern California does. I don't think anybody.
Well, I think because he's
North.
been out of, baseball for so many years, you kind of lose your popularity, although he's super, super popular. I think he probably lost a little bit of that base just because of time. But the other problem is that in order to win California votes, you have to win San Francisco. You have to win Sacramento. And they hate the Dodgers. They hate all Dodgers. They hate every Dodger.
I think Sacramento is half and half, I think, a little bit.
But still, you're going to have, you can win LA and you could win San Diego, but you got to go up. There's 6 million people that are going to vote no because he's a Dodger.
Just because he's a Dodger? You really think so? I was thinking maybe the other way around, that he's just this baseball icon.
Well, I would hope.
Ronald Reagan, not everybody liked him.
Right, but they voted him in unanimously, yeah.
And he was an actor.
Yeah. Well, but that's not divisional. He wasn't a Los Angeles actor versus a San Francisco actor. But if Steve came into the race and said, look, let's forget about baseball.
Right.
I'm a Californian. Put me in the Senate. Then, that's a different strategy.
That's how he has to ride those coattails.
I think
that
so.
thing and go that direction.
He's
been here his whole life.
I'm actually going to call him and see if he wants to be on the show. I'm going to see if he wants to be on a podcast saying, hey, Steve, let's get you out there. Let's get your name out there. Let's start doing it right now. I'm probably one of his biggest fans.
I know, and you can even bolster him that you guys have like 2 million plus followers on
history.
everything.
Got history with him, so we can say this is going to be softball, man. It's going to be super easy. You just got to
barely an
inconvenience. So, yeah.
Hey, can we say that?
Yeah.
That's not a tagline that
they didn't copyright that. Barely.
I don't think anybody knows what we're talking about.
Screen Rant. For those of you who don't know, look up Screen Rant. Some of the best stuff on YouTube ever. It's really, and we kype Dubage all the time, so we just kyped his.
So would you vote for Steve Garvey for Senate?
Yeah, I would.
You don't even know what he's standing for,
But I know the man. I mean, he's fucked up as much as any human being ever has. He's made mistakes. He's done good. He's done bad. But I'm telling you, I know him. I mean, I know Steve. I think he would do a good job in there by sticking to what's right.
And we met his kids.
Oh, yeah. Patrick.
Oh, his boys are so cool.
When
Ryan? The one that looks like him? Was it Ryan?
Ryan or Patrick? I just remember seeing him when he walked up. Remember, he walked up to me and I looked at him, and before I even knew who he was, I go, "You're definitely Steve Garvey's son."
You did.
The first words out of my mouth. I mean, it was like, because that's the face of that kid was like what I saw in 1970s.
I know, it was so uncanny.
And his kid turned out to be a cool cat too, man.
A really
yeah.
cool
And he
guy.
played for the Rockies for a little while, and now he's doing some bio research stuff. I liked him a ton.
Yeah, it was very cool. So yeah.
So Steve Garvey is supposedly running for Senate. I don't know if he's going to actually put his hat in the ring, sign the paper, fill out the form.
I think he's.
But if he did, or he's going to, then I'd love to have him on the show. We can do it as a Zoom call, or I can give him a couple bucks to drive up here and sit in person, but it would be fun to do.
Yeah, that's very, very cool.
So, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot about that. That was something I was going to talk about.
Well, I know you mentioned it a little bit last night, but that's only reaching.
Hey, quit saying I was on last night. We watched the Dodgers last night. There was no show last night.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm not sure where you were. You keep
night
saying
ago.
that, but what guy were you? What
So
guy
do
were
you
you
want
with?
to talk about the Dodgers?
Dodgers lost.
Are you sad?
I am sad, but you know they got swept by the Diamondbacks. They beat
Let's say that again. The Diamondbacks.
Okay, hold on. They beat.
Hold on.
Hold on. They beat the Diamondbacks in like 5 out of the last 7 regular season games. They beat them, and then they come and get swept in the playoffs. And I don't want to go into this too deep. And I have met Dave Roberts in person. I have asked him. I didn't just shake his hand in a parade passing. I have stood with him and go, "Why do you do the things you do?" Remember we had that big meeting?
Even when you were told not to say that.
I did, yeah.
You were told not to
It was
ask.
right after he lost the World Series a few years back, and he made some very questionable management calls.
Yes.
And the guy who was running the event says, "Okay, you can go up to him and talk to him, but don't bring up his pitching choices.
Don't ever tell Gen X to do
Don't
that.
bring up the World Series. Don't bring up the pitching choices. Don't question him as a manager." And I'm thinking, but I'm a fan. If I can't do that, so I agreed. We shook hands. Everything was good. They walked me up. They introduced me to Dave Roberts. We talked for a few seconds.
And then guess what happened?
Well, you were there. You know this.
The don'ts started flying. You don't ever tell Gen X dad don't.
Okay,
Because that means do in
You
his
were
book.
standing next to me.
Oh, I know.
So you know I did this. I went.
I know. Gen Z
Dave,
Kid and I have a picture of us standing next to him. I was
watching.
like,
There's
oh, God.
they've got a picture of me somewhere going like this. With look to Dave going, "What the hell, man? What was that all about?" And how? And I'll tell you what. He answered me. I go, "Why did you?" Now, specifically, you changed the pitcher for the second inning to the fourth inning. And he, not only did he answer me eloquently, he was great, very eloquent.
He's probably answered that question a
A
million.
million times, and he's probably sick of it. Everybody Monday morning quarterbacking his decisions. However, this is gonna for sports fans. He says, "But there's some stuff in the works that you don't know that I can't talk about." I had no idea what he meant, so we just went on with the conversation.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a week later that the Astros were caught cheating. That it came out that they were cheating with beating the drum and letting the guy in the stands was watching what the catcher was doing for signals. They were beating a trash can, letting the batter know what pitch was coming.
Yeah.
And it happened during the World Series. It's one of the reasons they lost.
Oh, wasn't that the World Series you and Gen Z Kid went to?
No, we went to one game in the World Series when we lost to Boston at Dodger Stadium. I think it was Game 5. Yeah.
After you met him, or
Yeah, it was
before?
after I met
after you
him.
met him.
Yeah.
Because no, because Gen Z Kid had
Wasn't
him
it?
sign his ticket. Gen Z Kid has the
Oh,
World
you're
Series
right.
ticket
It was after.
was
We met him
signed.
just after. That's right. You are right. Yeah.
I think it's cool. He still has it.
Yeah, no. So Steve Garvey would remember me when he saw me. You know, "Hey, how's it going?" Dave would not. He meets too many people. But I did have that in. We had 30 minutes with Dave, and he goes, "You get 5 minutes with Dave. Don't ask him about the coaching."
And we do.
And we went 30 minutes, and that's all we
I was
talked
gonna
about was
say
the
there
coaching.
was no 5 minutes. There's no time frame, none whatsoever. So what's this talk about the kid moving out now?
Well,
I don't know how I feel about this.
okay. First of all, I've raised 32 children. You've helped me raise at least the last 8, which were ours, and they've all moved out.
What about I had other kids too, you know. Where
Okay,
was I?
well, just relax. I'm taking a little credit here, a little
Okay,
leeway.
good. Yeah, he raised them all by himself.
All by myself, you know, unless they turned out to be bad, then it was on her. So we had a rule in the family that if you're going to move out, don't sneak out in the middle of the night or I'm going to be pissed. And when you want to come back, I'm going to tell you no. Don't move out angry. I'm pissed off. I pack my stuff and I'm leaving because I'm probably not going to let you come back. And I've told the kids this. I've been very vocal about it. But what we tell them is, look, if you want to move out, let's plan it. We had one daughter who now is married to the Marine in Camp Pendleton. She snuck out in the middle of the night.
Yes, she did.
Now we
Not
had
to him.
No, we had weeks and weeks and weeks of talking with her about. Listen, she was 17. She was halfway through her senior year. I go, listen.
Let's
Finish
get
high
you
school.
through high school.
Finish high school. Let's get a little bit of a bank account going for you. Let's get you a job, and then you can move out.
We
then
will
you
work
can
in
go.
that direction.
You got to. I think you should have a car. I think you should have a job and a little bit of money, and then you can move out. And she's, oh yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. And then she moved out in the middle of the night anyway.
She took off.
And I didn't talk to her. You talked to her. I didn't talk to her for over a year, and it was about a year and a half before I even let her walk back in the door.
Yeah, it took a long time.
Oh, and she was really butthurt about that too. I said, I warned you. I freaking told you, don't do that. And you did it. Yeah. When I was young and I was stupid and well, good. You live with it too. So she had to live with it. Yeah.
You were warned.
That's how that goes.
But I have a funny thing to tell you. I was talking to our other daughter, the one that has done everything we've said correctly.
Yep.
I was telling her the other day on the phone, I said, hey, your brother's thinking about moving out. She goes, oh, has Dad done the talk with him? Has he pulled out the whiteboard? Has he put down the list of all the payments and make him cry like he did to me?
Well, hold on. Hold on. To be fair, this is one of our daughters who follows our advice to the letter. She's really done
and
well.
Life is
Her
fabulous.
life is perfect. Her life is, and she's made it that way. It wasn't us, it was her. But she has listened really, really well.
Yes, she has.
Anyway, when she was getting ready to move out, she was moving out. She had her friends, she had an apartment, they had everything, or they were getting a house. They had all the stuff worked out, and she was 2 days away from packing her stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, okay, hold on. And we rolled in the whiteboard, big whiteboard with some markers. And I said, okay, let's just see how much money you're making. Let's not even take taxes out. I said, don't even take taxes. Just how much do you make? This much an hour, this many hours a week.
Make it simple.
This is your gross. Let's just start with even if Uncle Sam takes no money, here's your money every month. How does this divide out? Okay. And she told me by who's paying what and by what utilities. And we kind of estimated the utilities, estimated her gas in her car insurance, her car payment. We kind of estimated everything around in a circle. And I said, okay. She goes, see, I can afford it.
What the heck is that?
What the heck is that? Somebody on fucking talking in here, you fuckers.
What is that?
It's somebody's in the studio room and they're talking in the room, so my phone was on, I could hear it. Anyway.
Okay.
It sounded like somebody stepped on a thumbtack.
It sounded like a fly. On my side, it sounded like a fly.
No,
we got a fly over
sounded like
there.
somebody stepped on a Lego and they couldn't get it out of their foot before they sat down. Anyway, so I did all this stuff with her calculating, and she was so happy. She says, okay, so I can move out. I got enough money. I said, well, you haven't bought food for yourself yet.
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, what do you mean? I go, well, you have this much money at the end of the month. That's $3 a day for food. Oh, so 3 meals a day is going to be $1. And you're not even getting all this money because taxes are coming out. And she went back and sat down at the table and just started crying.
Yeah.
And then she called her friends. I listened to her. I didn't tell her to do this. She called her friends. She goes, I can't move in with you.
I think it was smart.
That was it. She was crying because she wanted to go. And she picked up the phone. She goes, I just can't do it. I can't afford it. It's not going to work.
Right.
Now, myself included, any other kid would have been like, I'm trying it anyway.
Exactly.
I'm going. I don't give a shit. I'm trying it.
That's what Gen Z kid's going to do. He's just like, whatever.
Well, he's planning it out. But his big thing is he goes, nobody has a job. Mm-hmm. And when we go to lease, he wants to move out in June. He goes, nobody has a job, but we're all going to move out. I go, how many people without a job are actually going to get on this lease? He goes, oh, yeah, they're not going to put them on the lease without a job. I said, so you're going to rent the apartment for everybody? You're going to hope that they pay you? All of your friends? Is that how this goes? You're going to put all the utilities in your name?
And food?
He says, well, Now he's not said he's moving. He hasn't changed his mind. He's still moving out. But he's pulled the reins way back because I've heard some of his phone calls and he's on the phone with his friends going, listen, you motherfucker, get a job. Don't get one the day before where you move out to the apartment. You get one now.
Right.
And start saving your money. Calls his next friend. I don't care if you got to borrow the money from your parents. Your name's going on the lease. I mean, he still wants to move out, but he definitely doesn't want to be on the hook for the whole thing.
Yeah, he does know the ins and outs because I even told him, I said, hey, by the way, are you saving money because you're going to need your first, last, and a deposit? And he goes, yeah, Dad already told me. I go, but wait, have you told your friends that? Like,
Yeah,
they
gotta come
can't
up
just like come in with their first month's rent. They've got like,
Yeah, they're gonna have to. They're gonna come in and say, "Hey, man, why don't you rent the place for us? Can you cover my deposit and I'll make payments to you?
can you make the first month's rent so we can live there for free for the first month and then we'll pay you?
So all of our kids have had instructions on if you move out incorrectly, don't come back. I get mad. Now my wife always, you can come back. It's fine. We'll bring you. You can do it. And I keep telling her, you move out stupid and angry, don't come back. I warned you. Now our oldest son moved out. I told him not to move out under the conditions he was moving because he was in San Jose and he was going to college. Now, but he did plan it correctly. I mean, this is after you kicked him out. You kicked him out of the house, but then he says, okay, I'm going to go here. So he didn't really move out bad. But that dude was paying $3,000 a month rent.
Had one roommate.
In San Jose, had one roommate. He would drive down here on Wednesday night.
Yeah. And
he would stay Thursday, Friday,
wash.
Saturday, Sunday. 4 days he would stay here, do his wash, eat. You would give him these care packages of food.
Because he
and
couldn't
he would
afford
come.
it.
Yeah, he would come to me and go,
gas money.
I need gas money to get back up to
gas
San
money.
Jose.
I forgot about that.
So he'd go up, then he'd get his allotment from his student loan or his student, whatever it was. He'd pay all of his stuff. 3 days a week there, 4 days a week with us.
Yep.
3 days a week there, 4 days. Just coming home to visit. No, you're coming home to do your laundry and eat.
And to eat.
And you still need gas money to get back up there. And he did that for it was about a year he did that. It was so funny to watch. I said, how come you're paying them $3,000 a month of rent? But you're there 3 days a week. You're here 4 days a week.
And you don't pay rent to us.
How much do I get for 4 days a week?
We got
Plus I'm
nothing.
feeding you.
We're in the negative.
Yeah, we're in the negative with that.
That was funny.
So, but that was I have heard him tell all his other brothers and sisters. I have heard him pass along, hey, listen to Dad. He was right. I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
Most of them don't, but some of them do. All right, moving on. Sorry about that. I got a little sidetracked with the kid. Yes, the kid wants to move out in June, but I think he's planning it way ahead of time. He's really trying to do it as best as he can.
He's trying. He's trying.
There you go.
I like hearing him talk about it. It's good. Because isn't that what we all want for our kids? We all want them to fly and free and
we
go
do.
places. So, anyways.
We do.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. Talk. I'm ready. I'm listening.
Well, there's something hanging in your garage that I want hung up outside, and I can't do it yet.
There's something hanging in the garage you want?
Outside, on the patio. But you have a fear of it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm not afraid of anything.
Wind chimes. You freak out about wind chimes. Can I please have a wind chime?
Listen,
that my son bought me?
No. What? Okay,
Here we go.
I was in Scottsdale, Arizona.
There we go. Story time.
In a trailer park. I was probably 9 years old. And I mean, this trailer park was it had dirt roads, dirt lots, hardly any trees, hardly any bushes. And it's in Scottsdale, Arizona. And when the wind comes through, it just swirls up like a fur ball right in your face all through the trailer park. And I had to stay there for 3 or 4 days because my grandfather was visiting his brother or something when I was 9. And this was like a stop on the way we were going somewhere. I think we were going to the Gulf of Mexico. So I'm sitting there outside. They kick me out in the morning, have breakfast, get dressed, and I'd sit outside and walk around this trailer park. Every trailer in the trailer park had a wind chime. Why are you yawning again?
Go ahead.
They had wind chimes, and I was stuck for 8 or 9 hours by myself. My grandparents, go play, go play, go play. So there I am going and playing. There's nothing to play with. there's lizards, there's dirt, and these wind chimes 8-9 hours a day for 3-4 days. I just got to where when I heard a wind chime after that event, I got like
PTSD.
Okay. It just sent shivers up my spine. Somebody wants to freak me out when I walk by, rattle a wind chime.
You know what?
You have a wind chime.
You could have made the story better if you would have said you had a twister, like the movie Twister, when the wind chimes started picking up.
Yeah, but that's not what happened. I'm telling you.
No, it was just a trailer park.
I was 9 years old outside in the heat, in the summer heat.
It's 50 years later. Get over it.
Look, if I could, I would.
Well, let's break it. Let's just put that wind chime out and let's just get it over with.
You have a wind chime. You have a wind chime.
It's in your garage.
No. The one we have out there it's bamboo. That's the only problem you have with it is that it's not a tingy one. It's a clicky one.
It's in the garage, the bamboo one.
You can put that one up. I don't care about that.
Oh, my
What does that matter?
Goodness. That's the one I want.
Oh, I don't care about that. That's not a real wind chime.
Okay, so you don't like the metal ones. You're being specific.
Right.
Hey, everybody should just send me a wind chime.
I don't like ting, ting, ting,
I want
ting,
everybody
ting.
to send me a wind chime and I'll put them up on the deck.
You will not.
Oh, it'll be hilarious.
We have talked about this over the years. I can't believe you fucked this up and got it backwards. You know I don't like wind chimes. You know I don't care about the bamboo one. Okay. You don't like the bamboo one. You want a real one. We've been down this road for 20 years on this. If that's the only one you want up is the bamboo one, go ahead. The only reason the bamboo was taken down because we were going to stain it or paint it or something because it got all faded. That's the only reason it's down. Not because I don't like it. I don't like the tingy one.
Hey, I noticed you have your pea popper in.
I had to put this little pea popper filter because
you pop your peas.
Yeah, I pop my peas and everyone's like, dude, love your podcast, but every time you say the word pea you say the letter P in a word, they make it sound like I'm flicking the microphone. So I can't. I had to put this thing back up there. It's okay for the audio portion, but there's my entire beard is covered on the audio one. You can't see me at all. I am Wilson from that show. What was that
Home
show?
Improvement.
Home Improvement. I'm Wilson from Home Improvement right now. Yeah.
So I've been looking at houses on Zillow. So are we moving?
No. Well, yes, we can move. Not right now.
I mean,
we can't. The kid's got to finish at least 2 years of college, then we can go.
Why?
Where do you?
He's moving out.
It's not gonna. It's not gonna work.
It doesn't matter. He's moving out.
It's not gonna work. He's not. The good thing was the studio that we're in that we built.
Yeah.
Is on a big metal frame. We can literally just take this with us. We can pick it up, set it on a trailer, drive it to where it goes, set it down. We don't have to take the decorations down.
We have a person for that.
We do have a person for that.
Loud One, LLC.
That's right. Loud Trouble say, I want this big thing, this studio over there. And he's like, child's play. He can do it.
Exactly, exactly. Well, I love California. I do.
Yeah, so do I.
I'm a California born and bred girl.
Yeah, I love California too.
I like putting my toes in the sand in the beach, but the property bill came. And I am not happy.
No.
And it's not just the property, it's all the other taxes. We must pay the high schools like $500.
I like how they break down your property bill, but it's like, hey, it's California, and here's the 1,700 things that you're paying for, and it adds up. I hate to say this, but our property bill is almost $9,000 a year just to live in the state of California. Which, by the way, I know that you screwed this thing up. I know you did. You don't
what
think.
What are you talking about?
You don't. I know. I didn't tell you about this. You don't think I know, but I did. Every month, you're supposed to set aside money for property tax. There's supposed to be an envelope. We've talked about this before. And as I say, here's some cash for this. Here's to get your nails done. Here's to get you. And I just set it aside. So we're not both spending off the same debit card. We're not spending off the same. In an envelope that it's set aside for certain things. For other things, no, we just go. But there's a few things I demand that we set aside. You're supposed to be setting aside a certain amount every single month in an envelope for the property tax. And I know you didn't do it.
I have some money set aside.
No, because the other day I looked at you and I said, hey, yeah, you handed me the property bill. And I said, yeah, I hope you got that money set aside. And the look on your face was, what?
Well, because I was like, how much is in that envelope?
No, yeah, because nothing's in it. You haven't done it once, I'm sure.
You don't know that.
Now, what you did do,
you have no idea.
No, I don't. But you know what? I do know. We have another envelope that has some petty cash that we pay for people to do same things around here, and we do some stuff, give some money, go do this. What you did, as soon as because you had that deer in the headlights look, what you did, as soon as you left here, you ran back in, you got an envelope, you reached into the petty cash, and you pulled out some and put it in that envelope and went, okay, now I'm good. Now it looks like I've been saving.
You lying sack of shit. I did not do that.
Bullshit. I know that's what you did.
I have to count it because I don't know how much is in there.
Because there's not.
I did not take one envelope and put it.
You grabbed a handful out of one.
You're so full of
and
shit.
You stuffed
You know what?
it.
Now I'm just going to take all that money and go to you and go, guess what? I don't have any. You're going to have to come up with it.
You know what? I know you. The look in your face.
That's great, honey. That's what I did. That's exactly what I did. You are so right.
I've been married to you.
You are so right because now that money I'm going to pocket.
I know. I've been married to you for so long. When you handed me that tax bill, and I said, well, nothing to worry about here. I'm sure your envelope's full. And you looked at me like.
Yeah, my envelope's full. Sure is.
It's not what I meant.
Full of your shit.
I'm just saying the look in your eyes was very clear.
You're not getting that money now.
Idea. Why? Because I embarrassed you with the truth?
I'm not embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed by the truth. The truth hurts. I know.
I know where I'm at. I'm not embarrassed.
What are you talking about?
I am pocketing that money now. You're going to have to pay all of that property tax now.
No, I've been struck.
Nope. All
right, I don't like
now
you
that you just threw me under the bus. You don't get it.
Did you think
I did not do that? You can go look and see.
All right, go. I'm done.
Forget you.
I'm done talking to you. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't like you. So yes, we're moving, but I need to be near an airport. That's like I got.
What? That's the why? What?
Okay, that's not the whole criteria. That's not the whole criteria.
Why does it have to be near an airport?
Because we got to be able to come and go and do stuff. You know, we can't. It's an airport. It's a big deal.
What? Okay.
One of the things is that we got to be near an airport. That's just. I'm not saying you can't pick a river, a stream, a lake, an ocean.
An airport.
But I just said while you're thinking of stuff, make sure it's near an airport.
Okay.
Make sure it's reasonably near an airport.
Okay. I'm done with this subject.
Fine. Whatever.
Let's move on.
What's wrong with an airport? You act like that's like a bad thing. Hey, you know what? I got to ask you something. This is off topic. This is Generation X.
Oh, you want to ask me something?
Yeah, this is old school. Just generally. We don't need to dwell on it forever, but just generally.
Okay.
You know how they remake our movies, they remake our songs from when we were kids, right?
Yeah, because they're all badass, but go ahead.
Right. They pick the good stuff and they go after it again.
Right.
Now, they don't even call it, because when you make fun of them, because Generation X made huge fun over the last 15 years. Excuse me. Made huge fun of all these people doing this stuff. So they said, well, no, we're not remaking it. We're rebooting it. It's a reboot.
No, it's not.
That's what they say.
Okay.
That's their way of saying we're paying tribute to it again. We're going to reboot the franchise. We're going to reboot the movie. I'm having trouble thinking of one that came out well. Not one. I can't think of
What's
one.
your question? I'm waiting for the question.
Well, first of all, do you agree with that? Do you agree with them rebooting our movies, or should they leave them alone?
Leave them alone.
Because, and this leads into what I was saying, I can't think of one that I go, hey, Footloose was horrible. Mm-hmm. Ghostbusters with the girls in it, the women in it, was a disaster.
Except you like the not the girl one, the other one.
Because that wasn't a reboot. That was the same movie extension. Same actors.
Okay.
Same storyline, all the same characters. It wasn't a reboot with new people.
Well, they redid the Charlie's Angels. Like they took the Charlie's Angels
but that
TV.
Okay, that was taking a TV. They didn't. I don't think they made a Charlie's. Well, yeah, they did, but I don't know. That really
one wasn't. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad. They kind of made it their own.
Okay, I think there was the TV show was good in the 70s.
Yeah.
And I think they did do a Charlie's Angels movie in the 80s, but it didn't do very well, and it kind of flopped.
I don't even remember that.
And it didn't have. So when they redid it, it was kind of like they were redoing a movie that didn't do well anyway. So I didn't care, and You like the Charlie's Angels movies a lot. I didn't. It was all right.
It's more like a chick flick, but it's cool. Right. It's action packed. It's fine.
Okay, they're gonna now just.
Oh God, they're gonna do another one.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
War Games.
No, they can't touch that one.
How can they do that when there's no more Russia. They can't have the a simulated attack of Russia, and how could they do that?
They're
There's
going to
more.
do China now or something.
Well, they're going to redo.
But even the technology's different.
I know, it's way different.
They should not touch that.
They're going to redo Dirty Dancing.
No.
Yes, they are.
It's going to flop.
Some of these things, Dirty Dancing was supposed to be a B movie. It wasn't even supposed to do well. It was a contract movie that the studio says, all right, let's just knock this one out. We got a pretty good script. Patrick Swayze, Jennifer Grey. All right, let's just knock it out. And this sleeper movie was a worldwide phenomenon.
I know. Still is.
How could you take a movie like that and,
I don't know.
and do better?
I don't know.
Well, that's one of them they're going to do.
I just think because they're running out of ideas for movies.
It seems like it. And here's the other problem. Here's the big issue for me. They don't put any care into remaking our movies when we were kids. They don't say, all right, let's pay the ultimate tribute to this that we can. They grab whatever actor or actress is popular today and go, you're going to do that movie. Well, I really don't belong in that. You're going to fit into it. We're going to fit you. We're going to make this actor or actress fit inside the movie just because this was a great movie. You are super popular. We're putting the two together. And I don't like that. You should really if you're going to try to make a movie, remake a movie or reboot a movie, shouldn't you try to find somebody as close to the character that can bring it to life again, and they just put whoever's popular in there.
Yeah. The other thing I'd like to know is how many Gen Xers actually go see the remake or the reboot, whatever they call. Because I don't want to go see it. I'm not interested in going and see.
I don't go to the movie theater and see something in the movie theater unless it is really potentially something. Oh, we saw Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
You took me to that, and you got us those seats. What was that place called?
Great. Now you put me on
Studio
the spot.
Movie Grill.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it had
it's awesome.
Big, comfortable
recliner
chairs.
You eat dinner.
You have a swing out table that comes in front of you. You can order alcohol. I started with
what do I take with me? I bring my blankie.
You bring your
blanket.
blanket.
My socks.
Yeah.
It's like sitting in my.
We have these seats that we always get because you can reserve your actual seat location.
Yeah.
And we get these seats.
Personal waitress or waiter.
Yeah, you press a button and they come right to your deal. You're like, far out, man. This is what I want.
Keep filling my drink. Oh, and
That's
there's
right.
alcohol too. You can get alcohol.
I said that. You can order drinks. You can get. I ordered whiskey.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, so for that I would, but I'm not going to go see all these other ones.
No, I have no desire.
How did you think about without giving away anything? What did you think of the new Mission Impossible movie? We just got the first half, part 1.
I didn't see the whole thing.
I didn't either. Do you know why?
Because you fell asleep.
Oh, it didn't attract me.
You said you liked it. You liked the whole premise at the beginning, and you had started watching it before I did. So I was like, I got to watch it again. But I think what turned me off completely was when you queued it up, it said it was 2 hours and 45 minutes.
You had a shit fit over that.
It's almost 3 hours.
Ladies and gentlemen, we sat down to watch this. We bought the movie, the new Mission Impossible. We sit down with a pizza in the comfort of our own home, and we're going to watch this movie together because we are big Mission Impossible freaks. And the thing comes on the screen. She goes, 2 hours and 45 minutes. And this is part 1?
I was like, what?
And I quickly said, well, now, the Hobbit, the trilogies with Lord of the Rings, that was 3-hour movies. And you're like, I didn't like those either.
It's just long. They're just long. But the one thing I did notice that I'm kind of getting tired of, it's the same sequences now. I mean, the Mission Impossibles have them all, but this one seemed to be incredibly long, like the chase car scene. I was like, holy mackerel.
Yeah, the first 45 minutes, it had a great premise about artificial intelligence. I thought it was a great storyline, but it drug out for so long, and it wasn't building characters. I don't mind a movie that builds characters for the first 30 or 40 minutes, and then you understand a little bit of everybody's backstory. Yeah. Now let's get to the movie. But it just kind of drug on with this mundane repetition of shoot and go and shoot. It wasn't suspenseful for me.
Yeah.
And Mission Impossibles always had some suspense. And I'm like you just said about the car chase scenes.
Yeah.
Bourne Identity, Mission Impossible. They all have these long
And Ethan
car
Hunt
chasing.
always gets involved with a girl.
Yeah,
now it's 2 girls. It's like, oh my gosh.
This makes my wife mad, but on a brand new movie we've never seen before, as we're watching it, in a car chase scene that is clearly going to last 20 or 30 minutes, I begin skipping through it. 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't care about this. I want to get back to the story. I've seen so many car chase scenes that I'm just, in a brand new movie that I've never seen, I will begin skipping through the car chase going, please, can we just get back to the story?
I wonder if he purposely does some of it, because I think when I looked up, when I was watching it, it was a car scene going downstairs again. And I think he had one in Mission Impossible that went downstairs.
Always do, yeah.
I'm like, man, I'll give it another shot. But we got to start it like at 4 o'clock. Okay.
Well, because we're in bed by 7. So, yes, I will do it too. I will sit down and I will start over. I will grab some food. I will grab a drink. I will nestle in.
I think we started it too late too.
It could have kept me awake. I just couldn't. It just didn't grab me.
We'll try it again.
All right, we'll try it again. Yeah, we'll
try it again. So, because I do like Mission Impossible. It's very cool.
They're going to remake Weird Science.
No, it won't be as good.
They're going to remake.
It put Kelly LeBrock on the map.
It did. They're going to remake Short Circuit, the movie we just watched on.
No.
Yeah.
Would they just leave our shit alone? As much as they hate Gen X, they're bringing it all back.
Yeah. So if we suck so bad, leave our movies alone.
Exactly.
The one that really got me.
Okay. What?
I was offended. I was angry.
You offended?
I know. I almost punched my computer screen when this movie title came up that they're going to remake.
What is it? Hit me.
Highlander. Oh, I know.
They're touching
Highlander and Queen, who did the soundtrack. I mean, I'm living.
They're not going to use Queen, or are they going to use Queen for the soundtrack?
There is no more Queen. Freddie Mercury died.
Are they going to put the music back in it?
I have no idea. You know what? Here's the problem.
I know Freddie Mercury died, dumbass. I'm asking if they were going to use the Queen music.
Here's my problem with that.
Geez, Lois.
I know you think.
Do I look blonde?
You're asking me these questions like someone from the studio sent me a note and said, hey, man, what do you think about this? No one has asked me my opinion. So I don't know if they're going to use Queen or not. They haven't said anything. Now, if they call me and ask me, I'm going to say, listen, don't even use Queen. Don't do it. Scrap change the name. Call it something else. Pick a different movie title.
But then they can't use that premise because that's the Highlander. He owns it.
I know. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Wow, I wouldn't watch any of those again.
I don't want to. I'm not interested.
No, because they can't make it as good as the first time.
No, so why it's like a cash grab, They just want to do it again to see if they can get clicks, they can get likes, they can get people to buy it.
Because nobody's going to the movies, so we're going to dig back to the 80s where everybody went to the movies.
Well, then why don't they just buy the rights to the old Highlander and show it again?
That's what they should do. I think they would have more people go to the theater.
I would go to the theater to see Highlander again.
Yes, if they would actually reboot.
Yeah, I'd go.
If you would take the 80s version and reboot it and play, I would definitely go see.
Digitize it so it's cleaner. I'll go. I have no problem doing that.
But I bet you there's not a whole lot of people go to the movies anymore.
No, I don't think there is either.
Like we do. We always, when it comes out in the theater, like, so when's it coming out on stream?
Yeah, when's it going to be out on Netflix?
We do that every single time. Okay, so, we're starting to do a theme all the time on our podcast.
We are?
Car stories.
You always want me to do a car story.
I love the car stories, but I have one specific because I was laughing about it. It always makes me laugh.
What story?
The one where you used to take our oldest son down to the shop, and he had an encounter with
12 or 13 or something,
and he had an encounter with Tom.
Oh. Yeah.
But you got to explain who Tom is, because that is so funny.
I worked for, before I opened up my own shop here, I worked for a guy named Tom, and he had he grew up in this town. He was born in this town, went to high school in this town. Everybody knew him in this town. And so he had a very loyal following customers. And I went to work from, rolled in my toolbox. And on the weekends, I would start working on some of my stuff. And I would take our son down there and say, come on, you're coming with me. If it was summertime, he'd come down this way on a Tuesday, and I introduce him to Tom and tell him this. And so it was one of the first times he was down there. He might have been 12 or 13. And we're down there. And Tom, at the time, was a short, balding, grumpy old guy.
Yes, he was. He was a boomer.
He was a boomer. He's a pure boomer. And
grumpy all the time. Tell him how he came in the morning. How do you start his day every morning?
He came in the morning every day. He would go to the same breakfast place and get a breakfast to go.
That's right.
He would sit down and start having his breakfast, and he had a row of like 12 or 13 pills. And he goes, you know what? You know why I got to take all these pills? Because of this first one. This first one causes a problem that I got to take the second one to cover the problem. The second pill causes my feet to swell. The third one fixes the swelling in my feet but causes my kidney. So the fourth pill, he goes all the way through the pills. All because of the first pill.
And the newspaper.
Then he's eating his breakfast after he's griped about his pills, and I'm setting up the shop and opening the doors and moving cars around. And his favorite thing in the newspaper was the obituaries.
That's right.
He'd go to the obituaries and go, well, none of my friends died today, you know, or lost another friend. But there was probably 6 months in a row. Almost every day he knew a name in the obituaries. And he would start to get freaked out by that. He'd go, God damn, we're all dying. Who's getting old? I don't feel old. Why are we? So here's this guy running around.
But wait, didn't he read the newspaper every morning?
Every morning, yeah.
Yeah, but then didn't he answer the phone? He'd get mad when the phone rang during his...
That was another part of this morning, Richie. He'd get mad if he wasn't done with the paper and customers were calling. And he'd literally pick it up and go, yeah. He's okay, look, it's like 8:15. We're supposed to be open at 7:30. I got the shop running, and he's picking up the phone going, look, call me back in 10 minutes. I'm almost done with the sports section. Click. And he'd hang up on customers until he was done reading his paper.
I thought that was so funny.
So there's a couple Tom stories that are really funny. One of them, we got a kid down there. Summertime, we're cleaning up, and he's sweeping floors. I make the kid come down there and do some chores, and so Tom's doing his normal cussing, and he cussed
like a sailor.
Worse than a sailor.
Yes, he did. He made up shit.
He'd make up words when he's cussing, and he'd put combination. I can't even say it on here. I can't even
Why
tell
can't you?
Because we're not supposed to cuss as much anymore on our podcast.
But you're talking about somebody else because you have to.
So if I'm quoting someone, it's okay.
Yes, you have to because the way he. Oh my God.
Anyway,
because then it's not funny if you don't say it.
Well, I'm going to be funny. Anyway,
okay.
So it's so he does all these things, and the kid is 12 years old. He's never heard anything like this because we just moved to this town a year before. So, and he'd gone to a private school, been around private school people, and private school kids very upstanding. And he comes out here, and he's in public school, and he's hanging out at a garage with a boomer who has no filter and makes up cuss words. So the kid comes home. And he walks in, and he's just like got tears in his eyes.
His eyes
are this big. And you come run up to me and go, what happened to him at the shop? I go, nothing. He's in there. He's all upset. He says that there was cussing going on, words he's never heard before. I'm like, it's a shop. What do you think was going to happen? Yes, it's a shop. There's nudie pictures on the walls. There's cussing going on. There's half-open beers. It's a shop.
It was funny.
So, two stories about Tom. He was a short, pudgy guy, short, fat guy. So I'm working at one end of the shop, and he's working at the other. He's doing some stuff. It was just him and I on this particular day. And we got the radio going, and all of a sudden I hear a noise, like someone saying something, and I turn around, no one's there. I hear it again. I turn down the radio. I'm like, is somebody saying something? Because I'm at the back of the shop, and it's a long shop. We got 7 racks in there, but it's a long way to the front. So I'm hearing, So now I'm looking around going, what the fuck is that noise? What I can't figure out where it's coming from. And I don't see Tom. He's not standing up anywhere. So I start looking around, and I'm walking to the cars and trying to be cool. And the more further along in the shop I'm walking, I'm hearing, so now I know where it's coming from. And he had been working on this Porsche. It was like a 72 whale tail Porsche. And so the door's open, and I kind of look around the corner. No one's in the office. So I'm looking around this car. His feet are sticking out. He's under the dash. The driver's door is open. He has wedged himself so far on his back, up under the dash with a flashlight where he could see under the dash to do something. He couldn't get out.
I know.
He got stuck in the car. So as I turn the corner, when I see him on his back, I know what he's doing. He's under the dash, but he's kicking his feet. and he's trying to grab with his heels on the concrete to pull himself out. He can't push himself out. He's got himself wedged in there so far. All he can do is grunt. So I'm not sure how to approach the car. Do I walk up and go, Tom, do you want me to move the seat? Because he's going to get mad.
You want me to pull your feet?
You want to grab your feet and give the heave-ho? So all of a sudden, he hears me, and he's like, get over here. So I come over and said, hey, you need some help? He goes, give me your hand. As far as he could reach out from, he was so far under, his hand barely reached the steering wheel. That's how far he was. So I grabbed his hand, and he wiggled and wiggled and wiggled and wiggled and wiggled and got himself out. And he's a ball of sweat. He stands up, and he is exhausted. He's 70 years old. He's a ball of sweat. And he's looking at me. He's like, no fat man should ever have to do work like this. And off he goes. I'm trying not to die of laughter. I'm holding it in. But when he capped it off with, he looked at me right in the eye. He goes, no fat man should ever have to do work like that. God damn it. And he waddles off. I just about died. I about lost it there because I can imagine him being under that dash for 40 minutes, grunting and heaving and hoeing and trying to get out. The only good news is there was no customers there. Now, the other story I got about Tom that I thought was so funny, and he did it on purpose to make me laugh, but it was so flawless. So
the first one with the Porsche, wasn't Andrew at that one?
No.
I mean, our kid?
No.
Oh.
So we're in the office, and the automotive office was just a simple waiting room, a counter, and a little office space behind it. So, you're standing there, and he's talking with one of his dearest friends from years ago. They're saying talking about the good old days, and he's going to work on his car.
Oh, they always shot shit. Like, just,
yeah, you could tell
shooting the shit all the time.
This particular customer was someone he knew very well.
Yeah.
So the guy was finished eating something for a sandwich, and he wads up this thing like he's going to throw it in the trash, and he looks around for the trash can. Now, Tom kept a messy office.
Always.
I mean, it was a messy office.
And the whole it was a pigsty.
It was a mess. I was constantly cleaning up the shop. So the guy is going to throw this, and he's done talking with Tom. He finished his sandwich. He goes, I guess I could just throw this on the ground. You wouldn't even know.
Oh.
So he does. He tosses it over the counter on the ground. And Tom says, you know what? Why don't you get out of my shop, you asshole? And the guy says, all right, I'll see you around, you cocksucker. Tom turns and walks right by me. And as he walks by me, he looks at me, and he doesn't even stop walking. He goes, you suck one dick. I said, what? Because he called him, and he says, you suck one dick. And it just sticks with you your whole life. And he walked by, and I was like, I lost my shit. I was dying. I fell over laughing so hard with that. It was so, that's Tom's sense of humor. So you got to get the idea on Tom. I was going to, if you're going to beat me up on a story, I was going to tell you a quick story.
I want to know the one where you were going to, what that made our son just come home with his eyes. What did he tell him that one time?
I don't remember. There was the whole story about him cussing and stuff. And he goes, I don't know.
Oh yeah, he came home and he just learned all these new words. All right.
I thought there
was a specific incident.
No.
Okay, sorry.
So the other one I was going to tell you is I got a call one time when it was my shop. And this guy says, I've been trying all over town. I bought this Mercedes in LA and it's used, and I'm on my way back up to Northern California, and I'm stuck in your town. And if you can replace a water pump. And I said, yeah. And he goes, it's a Mercedes Unimog. Now, I didn't know what a Unimog was.
Oh, I remember this.
And I said, yeah, we could do that. He goes, okay, I'll bring it right over. And I hung up the phone, and one of the guys working for me goes, do you know what a Unimog is? And I said, no.
But I'm going to learn.
I'm going to figure it out. He's like, you just think they're going to have a water pump for a Unimog? I go, what's a Unimog? And so I Googled it, and I called the guy back as he was driving. I still let him come. It was a 1943 Nazi Germany Unimog, this big old truck that the back was converted into like a radio station, a radio dispatch, like a communications thing for World War II.
Oh my God.
He had bought it at auction as a collector's item to go in a museum up north, and the water pump was going out. And because it was a Mercedes, he called us because we had a Mercedes shop at the time. Challenge
accepted, you said.
But I didn't know what a Unimog was. So we looked it up on the internet real quick, and the guy working for me goes, you stepped on your dick this time. He goes, so I called a buddy of mine who was really good. I called Dave with, for the German parts. I said, listen, I think I'm screwed on this. I got this guy coming. I told him I could do it. I didn't even know what one was. He goes, what year is it again? And I told him, and he goes, okay, if it's one of two engines, it's the same water pump that goes like on an 84 Mercedes diesel engine. I said, no way. He goes, yes. He goes, it's the same. If it's that engine, it's the same exact water pump from a 1943 Unimog to an 84 diesel.
So you had a 50-50 chance.
50-50 chance. I go, what if it's the other engine? He goes, you'll have to order one from Germany.
Oh, man.
So the guy comes in.
That's the part you didn't tell me.
Yeah, I didn't tell you that. So the guy comes in and he's singing my praises. You know, nobody in town wanted to work on this. Everybody told me no. I said, bring that thing in here. I'll take care of this for you.
God.
So he leaves. I told him, give me a day or two to fit, because I was busy. I said, give me a day or two to fit it in my schedule. I'll work something out for you. So I went in and I looked under the hood, and it was the same engine as the diesel. The water pump was in stock. We had it done the same day, and the guy was literally singing our praises. And I was walking around, no problem. I told you, no concerns here, buddy.
Yeah, I work on them all the time.
Bring that Unimog in here. I got 6 of them out back.
We get one a month.
Yeah, all the time. Unimog, they're more popular in this part of town than you think. So I just got super lucky with it. Anybody who doesn't know what that is, just Google World War II Unimog, and it'll come up, and then you'll understand the joke. So.
Okay, MacGyver.
It worked. It worked out really well.
Oh,
I got real lucky on that.
Goodness.
All right, so there's your automotive. Why do you do this? Every week going to be an automotive story?
Yes.
Why?
You have, I don't know, 40 years of automotive stories. I think they're great. Although I've heard most of them.
You want to know what just happened here that I found out?
You weren't doing this?
I recorded the audio on the pod track. I turned on and recording on the video portion. I forgot on the video portion, I forgot to turn on the microphone. So the whole podcast is muted. What are you shaking your head for?
You have one job. One job.
Now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to try to splice the audio onto that one and line it up perfectly.
Sounds like a problem.
It is going to be a problem. It's going to be a terrible problem. I just noticed it right now. I'm like, how come it's not the microphone, the little VU meter's not even moving? I went, oh, I didn't turn it on. God damn it.
Well, I'm not doing this again.
I need you to repeat everything you just said.
No, not at all.
All right, so we got a big meeting on Saturday for KGXT Radio. Huge meeting. This will decide the fate and the direction of everything we've been working for.
Do or die.
For the past 2.5, 3 years. And everybody who wants to meet us in person, end of Las Vegas, is it? When is it?
January 27th.
27th at the Red Rock Hotel and Casino. We're going to be there for a couple, 2 or 3 days, but there'll be one single event. It's going to be on the website, genxtalks.com. You can check it out, but you can hang out with us. It's going to be a fun event. Bowling, 80s music.
And meet
drinks.
Other fans, other Bottom of the Glass Nation people, other people, and they all go off, and you can go hang out with them and drink
they'll have
with
to
them.
Come in and say, hey, I know you from the podcast. Hey, I know you from Facebook. Hey, I know you from YouTube. Everybody comes to these events from all over, wherever you know Gen X Talks from. We're all going to be there. A lot of the staff is going to be there in person. It's going to be a fun event.
It is. It's really fun.
Okay, so is that it?
Everyone's invited.
Everyone, yeah.
You come bowl with us.
I can think of 3 people I don't want to show up, so not everyone.
Wow. That's not nice.
No, but it's truthful. All right, how long have we been on?
57 minutes.
1 hour and 2 minutes. You're still not as good as you were. You've lost your touch. I'm not sure what you did. You need to adjust your medication.
Not as good as I once was.
But you're as good once as you ever were?
Absolutely.
There's about 10 guys that are going to call you right now and go, hey, I heard you on the radio.
Well, it was lovely hanging out with you this morning. I have things to go do.
We had a bad night last night. You worse than me. I'm surprised you're chipper this morning because you were up in every 30 to 40 minutes. Then you finally
I don't want to talk about it. You
finally slept downstairs on the couch. And you still didn't get much sleep.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
It was bad.
Let's just move on.
Let's move on or move out. It's time to go.
All right. Well, thanks again for hanging out with us this week, everyone. I will catch you later. Bye,
Thank you guys. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you guys for being part of the program. Thank you guys for tuning in. Wherever you are across this little blue marble that's floating around the sun, AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps on the Armed Service Radio Network. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, wherever you go, there you are. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Yeah, I said it.